chaos, right? So if you have chaos, then how are we going to make it through these times when everybody's going to be running buck wild, doing whatever they want to do, how they want to do it, and the spirit going to be rolling to say, do this and do that, and those that's going to be in the spirit going to be rolling to do whatever the spirit going to dictate that we do, as it's written here. There's no way that you're going to do something contrary to the word that the Most High going to give us in these last days. And that's what he's preparing us for now. He's preparing us for the time to come that's miraculously happening before your eyes, right, and you cannot see it. Right. It's happening right before your eyes, but you really can't see it if you're not spiritual. Miracles are happening right now before your eyes, but you can't see it if you're not spiritual. There's an opportunity for all of us to not see the disasters that's getting ready to happen on this earth. We have that opportunity, or we have the opportunity to choose what? Life or death. The life is going into everlasting life. That's what this word, that's what I say, edification, but not to destruction, to destroy you. But you still have to know how to operate and take directions and follow orders. You follow orders, they teach us what? We got to follow the law of what?
The land.
The law of the land. Therefore, you know how to do that very well. You know how to do that. Everybody know how to do that. Because you get in what? Trouble.
They fear what's going to happen.
They fear what's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, get James 5:19. James the 5th chapter, 19th verse. Is everything okay on the conference call? You can hear okay on the conference call? The water. Okay. James 5:19.
James chapter 5, verse 19. Brethren, if any of you do err from the truth, the one convert him, and one convert him. Read over. James chapter 5 and 19. Brethren, if any of you do err from the truth, and one convert him, let him know that he which converted the sinner from the error of his way shall save a soul from death.
See? If a brother's erring, and you see they're in error, they erring from the truth. What's the truth? What's the truth? They erring from the laws of the Most High. That's the truth, the law. They err from the law of the Most High, and one convert him. Verse 20.
Let him know that he which converted the sinner from the error of his way shall save a soul from death.
Shall save his soul from what?
Death.
From death, man. It's the same thing that we've seen over and over again. You can save a brother's soul from death. Go ahead.
And shall hide a multitude of sins.
And shall hide a multitude of sins. Just by you doing and following what he said we're supposed to do. Ephesians 4:17.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 17. This I say therefore, and testify in Bahashon Mashiach, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk.
See, we ain't supposed to be walking as other Gentiles walk because they don't know these scriptures. They don't really know the Bible. They just going by feelings and emotions and, things that they've been taught, being brain polluted. Not brainwashed, but brain polluted. Their brain been polluted by the way that others have taught them. It might have been their parents, might have been the schooling, might be the church, just one of their family members, one of their friends. Read it again.
This I say therefore, and testify by Hashem Mashiach that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles
We're not
walk.
supposed to be walking as the other nations walk, and things that they doing. We're not supposed to be doing those things. Read.
In the vanity of their mind.
See, in the vanity of what?
Their
In
mind.
the vanity of their mind. So get a hold that, you know what I want in Ecclesiasticus 3:24. In the vanity of their mind, the things that they think of in their mind that's worthless thinking.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinions.
See? The vanity of their mind, so they what?
Deceived by their own vain opinions.
They're deceived by their own vain opinion. Read.
And an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment.
Evil comes in and overthrows their judgment. What kind of evil comes in? Satan. They allow Satan to come in and overthrow their judgment. Every time, when you got to know, but if you don't know how to look out for him and his little tactics, how he comes through people to get you, through the minds of people to get you, then how you going to recognize it? It's just like normal. It becomes normal because these people have spirits in them that are coming at us that are not spiritual. But they're carnal minded because the only way you can be spiritual minded is to know what? The scriptures. To learn it, to live it, and apply it in our life. From what it says. Read it again.
Which one? Ecclesiastes?
Yeah, Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinions.
See, many deceived by their own vain opinion. Man. Go ahead.
And an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment.
Evil comes in and overthrow their judgment. That's why they feel the way they feel. That's why I get 1 Peter 5 and 8.
First Peter chapter 5 verse 8. Be ye also patient.
First Peter 5 and 8.
First Peter chapter 5 verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
That's why we gotta be ready, man. Because the devil is going around seeing who he can devour. Now go back to Ephesians 4 and 17.
Ephesians chapter 4 verse 17. This I say therefore, and testify by Hashem Mashiach that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind.
See, the Gentiles walking in the vanity of their minds. When we just read, many are deceived by their own vain opinion. Evil suspicion is overthrown their judgment. Go ahead.
Having the understanding darkened.
Having their understanding, what?
Darkened.
Having their understanding darkened. Darkened. Why? Because we're in the time of darkness, which is ignorance, according to the word of the Spirit of the Most High. So the world, when you read Isaiah 60 and 2, the people, if you read that, read it. Isaiah 60 and 2, the reason why they're in darkness is because of the world that we're in now, which is the time of evil. That's why you see all the evil that's going on in the world and it's accepted. Isaiah 60 and 2.
Isaiah chapter 60 verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth.
See? Darkness shall cover the earth. Darkness means ignorance. It's not talking like it's dark outside. It could dark every night. At least in most places. And then it comes to be daylight. Right? But this darkness is talking about ignorance. And we're going to see this. Darkness shall cover the earth. ignorance shall cover the earth. Read.
and gross darkness the people.
And gross darkness, gross ignorance, the people. That's why it tells in Hosea 4:6, my people are what? Destroyed for lack of knowledge. Now go back to Ephesians 4:18.
Ephesians chapter 4 verse 18. Having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of the Most High Mashiach through the ignorance that is in them.
See? You see how that darkness means ignorance?
Yeah.
See?
Okay.
Having the understanding darkened. You see how the Bible answers itself? Being alienated from the life of the Most High through the ignorance that is in them. Ignorance means not knowing. That's in them. Read.
Because of the blindness of their heart.
Because of the blindness of their mind. The ignorance of their mind. That's why it was diabolical plan to destroy our thinking. So you don't want to think like the young people now. They don't think as much as we thought long time ago. It's like they lazy. It's like, oh, I don't feel like thinking. I don't want to do that. You got computers. You can go on a computer. Well, we had to work it out by hand. We had no computer. We barely had calculators to calculate, 5 plus 58 or whatever. You know what I mean? To be able to go in and plus 60 and all these different numbers together. You just boop, 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 boop.
Everything was memory.
Everything is memory. You gotta know how to add and subtract and divide and multiply. How to read. You know what I mean?
They have a thick phone book. You have to remember all the numbers of the phone book. Make you work your mind.
Plus you look at, like you're saying that, but we didn't have, like right now, even all of us, if something happened to the cell phone, like,
Oh man, that's it.
it's too bad. Man, you ain't hurting. You lose that cell phone, it's a done deal. Man, why you ain't calling? Man, I lost my phone. Because back in the day, we had to memorize numbers. You know what I mean? We had to memorize the numbers. For everybody. You write it down and you memorize it. You out there, go to the payphone, boop. They didn't have cell phones. You had to memorize that number. It made your mind think. You know what I mean? But now it's like, cats be tired, man. What you tired from?
Mush brain.
Huh?
Mush brain.
Yeah, right. You ain't really done anything to be really tired. I've noticed, I was like, wow, why are they so tired, so young, and you so tired, you don't have no energy. What's up with that?
Maybe eat turkey.
No, they ain't no turkey. If they ate turkey, it'd be really bad. But hey, that's what we dealing with here.
Yeah.
And so, go back to Ephesians.
Yeah, we're there.
Okay, 4 and 18 again.
Ephesians chapter 4 verse 18. Having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of the Most High through the ignorance that is in them.
So the world is set up to send you straight to hell. To burn with those that's going to burn in hell. I mean, if you look at it, all you have to do is say, well, just what the word says, and you see the result of what people say. Well, okay, I hear what you're saying, but ain't no buts. Ain't no buts. It is what it says. When they say but, that means they're going to bring something else with what you're bringing concerning the word. It is what it is. That's why people are in ignorance. Remember what the first thing he said? They're walking like other Gentiles. Other Gentiles. Now what happened when we gathered ourselves and mingled ourselves among these other nations? What happened? We act like them and we forgot what? The law. Because we learned their works. He said, learn not to wear it. He just like they get ready to do Christmas. That ain't Christ's birthday right now. More and more and more. You check it out. I'm gonna check out Shah, not even in this holiday that they celebrate right now. More and more, they taking him out of it.
Yeah, come.
Ain't no major cities and all that stuff. You go out there and look for all that stuff. You don't see that out there no more. Pretty soon it's gonna be like, hey, you're gonna really understand what this is really about. And they don't care because it's the end of the world. They don't care. He wasn't born on December 25th. Has nothing to do with him.
Some other people will be saying that was when he reincarnated.
When he reincarnated.
Yeah.
Oh man, ain't never heard that one. It's like, how you reincarnate when he's a baby? He come back, they said he came as a baby, now they said he recreated himself, huh? Ah, man, that's deep. The things that they have out there, right?
Yeah, the TV show called the 90s Club.
You speak up because we want to hear
The
you.
TV show called the 90s Club.
Called what?
The church channel called the 90s Club here. It was talking about how Christmas is pagan and Christ wasn't born on December 25th.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they was bringing it out. It's set up on YouTube and find it.
Oh, okay.
They're also bringing out that Christopher Columbus discovered America, so they bring it slowly.
Slowly
certain
trying
things.
to, don't make no difference. They got to give back everything they stole. That's the pledge.
Right.
They got to give it back. Then they can be saved. No, I'm serious. You know, the pledge is in Ezekiel. Go to, that's what, they can say whatever, just what they have to do. They got to restore it all, man. They want salvation. It is Ezekiel 33.